Hello everyone, I am Simran Kaur from Shivjyoti Educational Group. Now today we will discuss part 2 of chapter 4, heat. Now I'll give you an example, a situation. This is a cup of tea, hot tea. You have noticed that after few minutes it becomes cold, this cup becomes cold. Why this happens? Because heat always flows from hotter to the cooler body. Heat flows from hotter object to the cooler object. Here our hotter object is this cup of tea and cooler is our environment. So the heat from this cup, it will transfer to the surroundings. And that's why our cup of tea becomes cold after few minutes. So how does this transfer of heat takes place? Heat flows from one region to another, but how? The way by which heat transfers from one region to another is known as modes of transfer of heat. So we will start from here, transfer of heat. Modes of transfer of heat, by which heat flows from one part to the another part. We will discuss three modes: conduction, convection and radiation. What are the three modes of transfer of heat? First is conduction, then convection, and last one is radiation. We will begin with conduction. Conduction takes place in solids only. Always remember, conduction always takes place in solid objects. As you know that solid objects, the molecules in solid objects are tightly packed. They are very closer to each other. So there is no actual movement in these molecules. So what happens? There is vibration of these molecules. These molecules vibrate about their mean position. There is no actual movement. Suppose this molecule is vibrating about its mean position, so this molecule will transfer heat to the second molecule, and then again this will vibrate about its mean position, then it will transfer heat to the third molecule, and this is how heat transfers from one end to the other end. So conduction is a process of heat transfer in which the heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object without the actual movement of its molecules. Why there is no movement? Because molecules are tightly packed. Heat transfer in solids take place through conduction. Let's see this example. In this, suppose these students scored very well in term 1. So their teacher decided to give them chocolates, to distribute them chocolates. So she did what? The teacher gave one chocolate to the girl who is standing at first position. Now she has to distribute chocolates to all of them, all of the students. So she has given this chocolate to first girl. Then what will she do? She is not changing her position, but she is transferring this chocolate to the girl who is standing behind her. Again she took the chocolate, and now again she is not changing her position, but she is vibrating about its mean position, and she is transferring the chocolate to the third boy, and so on. The last boy will get the chocolate. This is how everybody is getting their chocolates. So replace this chocolate with heat. So this is how conduction takes place in solid. No actual movement. Imagine these are not students, these are molecules of any object. These molecules are not changing their position, but they are vibrating and they are transferring heat to the rest of the molecules. Understood what is conduction? Now there are few conditions for transfer of heat by conduction. First, objects must be in contact with each other. There should be a contact between two objects from which heat is getting transferred. That means the hotter object and the cooler object. And the second condition is there should be difference in their temperature. The case in which we took example of this cup of tea, the two objects were in contact with each other, this cup of tea and the surrounding, they were touching each other, and there was the temperature difference. The cup was hotter and the surrounding was cooler. So that's why heat flows from hotter to the cooler objects. Let's perform an experiment. Okay, so by this experiment we will see that how conduction takes place. So here I have taken one burning candle and this metallic scale, and on this scale I have already stuck these pins. So now what was our first condition for conduction of heat? That objects must be in contact with each other. So I am making contact between them by putting this scale over this flame. Now you will say it will take few seconds. It will take few seconds to get warm. Now you can see from one end heat is flowing from one end to the other end slowly. Now one thumb pin has already fallen down. Now it's time for second pin. It will take few seconds. Just wait. Okay, now the second pin has also fallen down. So this will how heat is getting transferred from this point to the other end. Okay, now our next topic is conductors and insulators. Good conductors, they allow the heat energy to flow through them easily by conduction. Like that metallic scale, that was good conductor of heat. So those substances through which heat can be transferred from one part to the other part, that is known as conductor, good conductor of heat. Whereas poor conductors, or we say insulators, the substances which do not allow the heat energy to flow through them easily, and these are also known as insulators. Example, glass, plastic. You cannot perform that activity by using the plastic scale, okay, which we performed earlier. Let's see few uses of conductors and insulators. Conductors, in the previous video we discussed about thermometer which make use of mercury. Why? The condition why we use mercury, one was that it is good conductor of heat. Now you understood what is good conductor, the substance which can transfer heat. And other uses of conductors are in refrigerators, AC, hair dryers. They make use of copper coil because it transfers heat easily. What else? In vehicles also we use conductors which conduct heat away from our vehicle. And now what are few uses of bad conductors or insulators? Like you have seen that during summer when ice slab is getting transferred from one place to another, they cover that ice slab with gunny bag. So why we use gunny bag? Because gunny bag have many small holes in which air is trapped, and air is bad conductor of heat. So it prevents our ice from get melted. So it do not allow the heat from our environment to reach our ice slab. What else? What can be the other example of insulator? During winter season, now winter is coming, so we will start using blankets also. So instead of using one thick blanket, if you will use two thin blankets, then you will feel more warmer. Why? Because the space present between those two blankets, it is getting filled up by air, and air is again a bad conductor of heat. So you will feel more warmer. Understood what are good conductors and bad conductors of heat? Let's move on to next topic, which is second mode of transfer of heat, that is convection. Now we'll discuss convection. Convection, this mode of transfer of heat takes place in liquids and gases only. And why so? Because you know, let's say these are molecules of any liquid. They are not closely packed, they are not tightly packed. So they can move from one place to another because spaces are present between these molecules. So it takes place only in liquids and gases. What else? Now there is actual movement of molecules. Like in case of conduction, there was no actual movement. But in case of convection, there is actual movement of molecules. Suppose I am heating this object, this is candle flame. Now the molecule which is present near this flame, it is getting warmer. Move from this position, let's say this position, and now making this part warmer. So there is actual movement of molecules in case of convection. The definition: convection is a process of transfer of heat in which hot water or gas molecules move from their places to pass heat from hotter to cooler region, colder region. The same example, again they performed good and she wanted to give them chocolates. So now what is the procedure here? Now observe it carefully. Now she has given chocolate to this girl. Now she has changed her position and now she is going at the back of the queue. Then the second girl came and she gave chocolate to this girl also. Now again, now she is taking the chocolate. Now you can see, now again she is changing her position and she is going back of the queue. So this is how convection takes place in liquids and gases, by actual movement of molecules. Compare these students with molecules of air. So there is actual movement of air molecules. So this is convection. Now due to convection in air, a very interesting phenomena arises, which is known as land breeze and sea breeze, which is our next topic. What do you mean by breeze? A blow of gentle wind. A wind blowing is known as breeze, and it is of two types: land breeze and sea breeze. Discuss sea breeze first. Now during daytime what happens? Sun is present, and due to the sun rays, both sea and land get warm, but land warms up faster as compared to sea. Now this land is getting warmer faster as compared to sea. So the air molecules which are present over land, they will rise upward. Okay, the molecules which are present over land, they will rise upward, and the molecules, the air molecules which are present over sea, what they will do? They will start moving from that side to this side, and this is known as sea breeze. What happened? Land is getting warmer faster as compared to sea. Now the molecules are rising upward, and now this place is vacant. So to take this place, the molecules, the air from sea is coming towards land. So this created what? This created a gentle wind, and the position is from sea to land. That's why we call that breeze as sea breeze, because the movement of air is from sea to land. So this is sea breeze. We just named it sea breeze. And in case of land breeze, what happens after sunset? During night time, the land loses heat faster as compared to sea. Now this land has become cold as compared to sea. That means the air which is above sea, it is warmer, so it will rise upward, creating an empty space, and the air which is present over land, it will move from land to C to cover that position. So now the movement of air is from land to sea during night time. That's why that type of breeze is known as land breeze. Understood what is land breeze and sea breeze? Here this is sea breeze. Low pressure is created because warm air always rises upward. You have noticed that, again take that example of hot cup tea. The warm air always rises upward, the flame of candle always rise upward. So here also air is rising upward, which creates low pressure, and here is the area of region of high pressure. So it will move from sea to land, and this is sea breeze. And in case of land breeze, the pressure, low pressure is creating here and the high pressure is over land. So the movement of air will be from land to sea, and this is land breeze. Is it clear, this topic, land breeze and sea breeze? Let's summarize here on the board. Land breeze, it happens during night because land becomes cool faster, and as compared to land it becomes warm. So the movement of air is from land to sea. This is land breeze. Whereas in case of sea breeze, it happens during daytime. Why? Because land gets warmer faster than sea, and sea as compared to land it is cool. So the direction of air will be, the movement of air will be from sea to land, and that's why it is known as sea breeze. Understood this topic? Okay, now the third mode of transfer of heat is radiation. This mode of heat transfer that does not require any medium is known as radiation. Like conduction takes place in solids, convection in liquids and gases, but radiation, this mode do not require any, it does not require any medium. So it does not heat up the spaces present between two objects. We have taken here example of sun and earth. We know that we receive sun radiations, okay. So our earth becomes hot, but the space between sun and earth, it does not get hot, it does not get warm. Why? Because the mode of transfer of heat is radiation, and this is the fastest mode of radiation of heat out of conduction, convection and radiation. So here come your third internal question, which you have to write on page number 50. So note it down. Which is the fastest mode of transfer of heat? And mark the answer, radiation. Now absorption of heat radiation, we know that when heat radiation falls on any object, that objects absorb that heat. So this is incident radiation, the radiation which is falling on this object. Now not complete radiation is getting absorbed by this object. Small part is getting absorbed by this object, absorbed radiation, and the rest of the part is getting reflected and transmitted. So due to this absorbed radiation, the temperature of this object is rising. So the absorbed radiation increases the object's temperature. Now there are few good absorbers and bad absorbers. Good and bad absorbers. First, in tropical countries like India, we majorly use light colored vehicles like white cars, and we paint our houses with light colors. Why this so? Because objects of light colors, they absorb less radiations, okay, and dark colored objects they absorb more radiation. That's why dark colored objects become hotter faster as compared to light colored object. Now next topic is kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. As you have seen that during summer season, if you have to go out on a hot summer day, so will you prefer a dark black dress? No, you will definitely prefer a light colored clothes. Why? Because light colors, they absorb less heat. Okay, that's why we prefer light colored clothes during summer. But during winter, we can wear dark colored clothes, as dark colored clothes, they absorb more heat, more radiation. Or during winter, you wear woolen clothes. Why? Because in wool, the very small pores are present and which has trapped air inside it. And we studied in this chapter that air is a bad conductor of heat, and that's how you feel warm. So these are the kinds of clothes which we wear in summer and winter season. So I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you.